All right, kiddos, let's take a look at today's Solve and Share. It says, count aloud to 30 while you point to each number. What patterns do you see or hear when you count to 30 using the numbers on the chart? It says color the boxes that show a pattern you find. We can't do that because you don't have your math books at home, but here's what I want you to do. Pause the video and take a look at that number chart. I want you to touch each number and count all the way to 30. Then talk to a grown-up or somebody else at home about any patterns that you see in that chart. Go ahead and pause now. All right, let's take a look at some together on our guided practice page. Okay, this sounds like a lot, and this might be a little bit challenging, but I know that you guys are up for a challenge. All right, we're going to take a look at this number chart that shows numbers 1 through 30. And on this one, you can already see that they have put some dotted lines for us and things like that. So that's going to make this one a little bit easier. As we go on, we'll get to the next page that does not have those hints, okay? So we are going to count aloud all of the numbers in the top row. And I'd love it if you could do it with me. So you're going to put your finger on the number 1, and we're going to count all the way across until we get to 10, and we will stop when we get to 10. Let's do that together. Are you ready? Touch each number on your screen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, I want you to listen as I read the bottom row of numbers. See if you hear anything that sounds alike or that sounds like the top row that we just read. All right, listen. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. What did you notice? When I read those numbers at the bottom row, did you see or did you hear that it repeats the same numbers that are in the top row? There are patterns in numbers everywhere. Let's see if we can find some more. All right. Listen to these numbers and then complete the numbers in the chart. I'm going to start at 25. Can you put your finger on 25? Here we go. 25, 26. What number would come next? 27, 28, 29, and then 30. All right. Being able to look at a number chart and being familiar with the patterns is really going to help you be a strong mathematician in first grade. Let's take a look at some more and see if we can do this by ourselves. Oh, good. Here we go. I'm going to look up, see my mouse or my arrow here? I'm going to look up at this top number chart for number 3 fish and for number 4 heart. Okay, let's take a look here. It says write the missing numbers and then explain how you know they are correct. There are some numbers missing in that chart, aren't there? Let me get my pencil. I'll use, which one do you think I'm going to pick today? Purple. I'm going to pick purple today. Okay, let's start right here. Kenders, do you know what the first number is when we count? You've got it. It's 1. We're going to write the number 1 right here. What number comes after 1? 2. And let's keep on going. 3, 4, 5. Now, how do you know that we got those numbers right? Pause and see if you can tell a grown-up or somebody else that is at home. All right, were you able to tell how you know you're correct? Here's how I know we're right. I know that the number 6 comes after the number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All of those numbers are in order when we count. Great job. We also know, as we said already, that the number 1 here is the first number when we count. That's why it's the first number on that number chart. Do you see any more blank spaces where we need to fill in some missing numbers? Point to them. I see them too. Look down here. Now we have to figure out what the missing number is that's going to go right here in the ones column of that number. Now we could go all the way back to 1 and we could count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Kenders, that's going to take me a long time to get all the way to this number. Let's see if we can use a pattern to find out what the next number will be. Look at this bottom row. 21, 22, 23, 24, 20. What will be the next number? It's 25. Now, let me show you this trick. Look at this row of numbers. When the numbers go side to side, we call that a row. In this row of numbers, look at the number in the tens column in each number. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, until it gets to the last number, and then it changes. All of the tens places in these numbers are all a 2. Let's look at the ones column in each of these numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What number will go here? If you said 6, you are right. And we read that number as 26. So there are 2 different ways we could fill in the missing numbers in this row. If I finished this, what would be the next number? What comes after 26? 27, 28, and 29. Excellent job. Let's change pencil colors just for fun. Which one am I gonna pick? Let's do green. All right. We're going to do the same thing by filling in the missing numbers, okay? This time, we're going to look at a column of numbers. A column goes up and down. Can you tell me what this missing number is before I tell you? If you said 4, you got it right. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, kiddos. Can you or can we together figure out what this missing number is without counting? Well, let's see if we can use a pattern to help us. If I look at this row right here, I can see 3, 3, 3. In the column up and down, the number that's in the ones place is always a 3. Let's see if that's true in another column. Let's look at this column right here. 6, 6, 6. All of the numbers up and down, all of the numbers in the ones place, in those numbers is a 6. Do you think that would be true for this column? I think so. Let me put a 4 right here. So we have 4, 4. Do you think this one's going to be a 4 too? Yep, it follows the same pattern as those other columns. But I don't think this number is just a 4. What is supposed to go here in this number? Now we're going to have to look at the row. It goes side to side. Look in the tens place in this row. 1, 1, 1. What's going to go here? A 1. Very good. We completed that column without doing any counting, just by using number patterns. Now let's switch from a column to a row. And let's look at this row right here and see if we can fill it in without even counting. Well, there's a couple of ways we could do it. Let's look at the number that comes before. This is the number 16. What number comes after 16? 15, 16, 17. Very good. Now let's check the column. A 7, a 7, a 7. Awesome job. All right, what do you think the number will be in this empty space? The number above it is an 8. So that means the number in the ones place will be an 8. And if it's following the same pattern that's in this row, a 1, 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 the number in the tens place will be a 1. And that is the number 18. Kinders, what will be the next number here? If you're thinking 19, you've got it. But then the number changes. Remember, at the end of this number chart, this column right here are the decade numbers. 10. What number comes next? What decade comes next? It's also the number that comes after 19. 19, 20. We will take a look at more of those patterns in the decade numbers a little while later. All right, let's look at the next page. You guys are doing amazing. All right, kiddos, this is an independent practice page. And if we were in the classroom, I would say, off you go, and I would send you with your math papers to do this all by yourself. But things are a little bit different since you don't have your math books at home. What you can do is pause this video and see if you can fill in the missing numbers all by yourself. Go ahead and do that. Then, when you come back, I will fill in all of these empty blank spaces. I'll fill in all of the missing numbers and you can see if you got them right, okay? Go ahead and pause now and see if you can do this by yourself. Are you done? Well, how'd you do? Did you get them right? If you didn't, that's okay. Spend some extra time looking and seeing what patterns you can find with numbers. All right, kiddos, we're going to do one more thing before we're all done, and that is the Another Look video. Let's take a look.
Hello! Today is all about patterns. Listen to these 3 numbers and find them on the chart as I say them. 4, 14, 24. Which number appears in each row? Here's 4, 4 in 14, and 4 in 24. Do you see that? The ones stay the same as we move down the column. What happens to the tens as we move down the column? 0 tens in 4, 1 10 in 14, 2 tens in 24. The tens go up by 1 each time we move down a row. Now look at these 3 numbers. 21, 22, 23. They're all in the same row. Do the ones or the tens stay the same as we count forward in the row? The tens stayed the same as we counted forward. 2, 2, and 2. But the ones went up by 1 as we counted forward. 1, 2, 3. There is a pattern when you count forward in a row. There is a different pattern when you count down a column. In a column, the ones stay the same and the tens go up by 1. In a row, the tens stay the same and the ones go up by 1. Here's something to think about after we're done. Which pattern would you use if you were adding ones? Which pattern would you use if you were adding tens? Well, I have to run. Come back soon.
All right, kiddos, lots to think about in having fun with patterns in numbers. I will see you next time for another math lesson. Great job today, mathematicians.